Microphone check, microphone check. What's going on, good people? Let me jump out to Facebook land real quick and share this out. We are going live. Mute that. No, maybe so. There we go. All right, I think we're better. I think we're good to go now. Do me a favor, go ahead and hit the share button as well. If you know anybody who's about to pay some money for credit repair, tell them to hold up and send them this presentation. You can invite them live right now if you can. Just hit the share button and you can share it to your favorite social media timeline. I think we are good to go now as far as the connection stabilizing. And it won't take long to get through this presentation. So, but I'm going to go ahead and share it over to my profile on Facebook as well, because I know a lot of people, man, who are looking for credit repair, credit restoration, and thinking about, paying some of these big firms, hundreds of dollars per month to get it done. But you could actually do it yourself with some great support. So go ahead and type in the chat where you're from, man. Let me know who we hanging out with today, and I'm gonna show you how to get your credit right in 2018. So let me just share this a couple times myself, and then I will get started. I promise won't take more than 2 minutes tops. 2 minutes, we good with 2 minutes? Hey, Monica, what's going on? Future Leaders LLC is in the house. All right. I don't know why I didn't change that description there, but at any rate. All right, so here we go. All right, so for those of you who do not know me, my name is H Cortez, also known as the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, and I bring practical wealth building strategies to working men and women. And credit and getting good credit, maintaining good credit, that is part of a good wealth building solution. People say all the time that cash is king, and that is true, but credit rules the kingdom. You can have cash and people still won't do business with you in a lot of cases, because they know making money with money is the best thing to do. So everybody wants you in debt. So you got to understand that there is some power in using credit and leveraging credit, but it starts with getting good credit. So we're going to run through a credit presentation here, maybe about 20-25 minutes. I'll be done. Then we do some Q&A if you guys got questions. Then I'll tell you how to get started with this program for just 10 bucks. 10 bucks, you can start fixing your credit like right now. And depending on how bad your credit is, chances are you can get where you want to be, inside 3, maybe 4 months, and literally get the whole thing wrapped up for less than 200 bucks. And a lot of times, most of these companies that do credit repair for you, they're charging you a couple $100 per month, and then maybe sometimes a hefty down payment to even get started. Well, this program is a do-it-yourself model, and basically you learn how to do it yourself, and that's critically important because the latest statistics is that when a person pays to have done for you credit services and they get their credit cleaned up inside 5 months, they're right back where they started because they didn't learn how to deal with and how to manage and how to maintain that credit to begin with. They got the credit cleaned up, went out and got a bunch of new credit cards, got a bunch of new debt, but learned nothing in the process. And as a result, they end up right back where they were shortly after paying all of that money to get the credit cleaned up. So we teach you how to do it yourself, and now you know how to keep good credit, how to leverage good credit, and how to maintain good credit as well. So let's just jump into this presentation real quick and show you what it is that we do and how we do it. All right, so when it comes to credit repair, there's some things that you just have to understand. But first, whether bad credit is new to you or has been dragging you down for years, this can be the year that you turn it around. And what better time to start a good credit repair program than right at the beginning of the year? As long as you have the motivation, we can guide you through the process every step of the way. So first, understanding how long stuff stays on your credit report. Accounts paid as agreed, 10 years. Bankruptcies, 10 years. Collections, 7 years. Judgment, 7 years. Late pay, 7 years. Paid tax liens, 7 years. And unpaid tax liens stay on forever, right? And then understand that strategy trumps brute force, right? Brute force is sometimes you can just go and just flat out some of these companies would just wipe everything off your credit report. And that's what we would consider brute force. But part of the credit score is credit history and credit age. So if you're wiping everything off, you can be in worse shape than when you started because you don't have the necessary history of someone with credit. So you have to understand that as well. So payment history counts for the most towards the credit score. However, it's only 35%. And the reason that's critical is because a lot of companies, they fix your credit and they get rid of negative history. But again, that's only 35% of the score. They have no answers in most cases for the other 65%, right? So smart strategies can pick up 65% in other areas to give you an increase. So credit utilization is 30%, new credit is 10%, length of credit history is 15%, and also having a good credit mix is 10%, and all important. And we help you address all 5 of those critical components to fixing your credit. So know your credit score won't do you much good when it comes to credit repair. So a lot of people think that if I just keep up with what my credit score is, that's enough. What you need to know are the negative items affecting your credit score, and that means looking at your credit reports. So don't just go and grab your credit scores. That's cool, but also make sure that you're reviewing your credit reports as often as possible. And do me a favor, is just jumping on, type in the chat where you're from, and if somebody invited you out to this presentation, let us know, shout them out as well. I like for my presentations to be a little bit more interactive. I'm used to being on Facebook Live, and I love the interactive chat with the Facebook. So if you guys don't mind, you want to go ahead and interact with the presentation, you absolutely can, but we will do questions and answers here in the next 15 minutes. It won't take long to get through the slide deck. So you have to actually look at your credit reports and know how to read them, right? So request your credit reports, annualcreditreport.com. You can get all 3 of your credit reports from the major 3, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, so that you can start to review your credit reports. Now, if you're going to be actively involved in repairing your own credit, then you'll want to track your results. So credit monitoring will not only provide you with snapshots of your improvements, but it can also alert you to potential problems so that you can fix those quickly. And I'll give you some access to the most cost-effective credit monitoring in the entire industry. It's funny, I used to work for one of the big 3 credit bureaus, and as an employee, I still had to pay $20 a month for credit monitoring. Well, I'll show you how to get it for $35 for the whole year. First thing you want to do once you get all 3 of your credit reports, you want to understand how to identify errors on your credit report. as well as derogatory items. So identify derogatory items, mark and rank them, the items that you're going to dispute. So there's a difference between errors and derogatory items. Errors would be, my name is H Cortez. My dad's name is also H Cortez Sr., and I've got some of his stuff on my credit report, right? That would be an error, right? And then the derogatory stuff is, yeah, I had some stuff that I just didn't pay on time. So those negative payment history, it's there, right? So mark and rank the stuff that you need to challenge. So from bankruptcy, foreclosure, repossession, loan defaults, court judgments, collections, past due payments, all of that stuff. But you rank them in order, and especially in their history. Anything older than 2 years, you deal with that a little bit later. Less than 2 years, that's where you want to be focusing on any of those derogatory items that are less than 2 years old, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to dispute everything on your credit report. See, you have to understand that the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which is the law that governs credit reporting, is very clear on how these big three credit reporting agencies can report your history and some things that they have to do on their end to make sure that they're reporting your stuff accurately and correctly and in a timely manner. So there's four main dispute letters that you're going to want to deal with. You got your 629 dispute letters. You verify the information that it's correct. You challenge their method of verification. You challenge whether or not they violate your FCRA rights, and then you have your intent to litigate. And then there are some goodwill letters that you can use, and also some pay for delete type letters. But let's just go over them. The first thing that you want to do when you identify the things on your report that are derogatory is you challenge it. See, there's a such thing as getting off on what we call a technicality. Not to say that the debt isn't yours. The big three have to prove the debt is yours, and they have to prove it in a very specific manner. I'm gonna say that again. Not only do the credit reporting agencies have to prove that the debt is yours, they also have to prove it in a very specific manner. And if they cannot, they have to remove that stuff from your credit report, whether or not it's your debt and you actually owe it or not. So the first thing you want to do is you want to challenge and verify that the debt is yours. So you send the first round of letters to your credit reporting agencies, all three of them, and say, hey, Mr. Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, I just want to verify that this debt actually belongs to me. And chances are they're going to come back, they're going to run your name through their database, and they're going to run the account number and all that, and they'll say, yes, without a shadow of a doubt, Cortez, this is your debt. Got your social right here, got your address right here, got your name right here. So we consider that this is your debt. And you say, okay, I appreciate you doing that quick research. But what I also want to know is, letter two, what method of verification did you use to verify that this is my debt? Now, most times they just run it through their system. They have a database that they all share, and they bump your name and information against their database, and they'll come back and say, well, this is what we did. And you say, cool. If you cannot show me the actual letter or actual contract that I signed that got me into this debt, I would kindly like for you to remove it from my credit report. See, when they verify, the Fair Credit Reporting Act says the only way that they can verify that a debt is legitimately yours if they have the signature on the original contract that got you into the debt in the first place. For the most part, these companies who are buying debt and debt is changing hands 3, 4, 5 times, and other people are trying to collect on debt, chances are they don't have the original contract. So you can challenge whether or not the credit reporting agencies have that original contract. If they don't, they have to remove that stuff from your credit report. If 30 days goes by and you sent that letter to challenge their method of verification and they do not respond and they do not remove the stuff from the credit report, then you send them letter 3 and says, hey, I know my FCRA rights. You guys are in violation because you have yet to prove to me how you verify this is my debt. right? And then they have 30 days to respond. If they don't respond in the 30 days and remove the stuff from your credit report, then you send the last letter, which is the intent to litigate. Okay, so I sent you a letter to verify this is my debt. You said it was my debt, but you didn't provide me proof of verification. Because you didn't provide proof of verification, I now know that I've notified you that you are in violation of my FCRA rights. You have yet to take the appropriate action. So now I'm going to take you to court and let a judge decide what needs to be done, right? So you get access to all of this information, how to do it, the letters, all there. They're all in template form. All you have to do is put your name in, put the account numbers in for the accounts that you're challenging, and you send them to the big three. And if they don't, then you can take them to court, and you will likely win if they can't come up with the original contract that you signed to get into debt. Now, sometimes if you're dealing with medical debts and things of that nature, medical hospitals are very meticulous record keepers because they have to be. And a lot of times they only use first party debt collectors, meaning they will actually send your records to them so that first party debt collector actually has the contract, the dates, the times, the your signature that you were served in their hospital and that you owe this debt. So you may not be able to get off with a technicality, but you may be able to send them a goodwill letter and say, hey man, if I go ahead and get caught up with this and start paying it, can you start reporting this um, to the credit agencies paid as agreed? And believe it or not, a lot of companies will work with you on that. But you have to send them a letter and let them know that you are serious about getting the debt taken care of, and you have to be good for your word. And then you might be able to pay for delete. So maybe it's something that's been a year old, has gone into collections, and you deal with them directly and say, look, I want to pay you for this and get this out of the way. In fact, you offered me a discount to pay it, but I want to pay you the full balance, but on the condition that you're going to delete this from my report altogether. Can we agree? Can you send me something in writing that says, yes, if I pay you the full balance, you're going to delete this from my credit report? They send you that letter in writing, and you go ahead and make the payment, and you can pay them to delete that stuff from your report as well. Now, the key to getting the letters to the credit reporting agencies is you have to mail the letters certified because you have to have good records, right? You have to have a record that when you sent this letter, the clock starts the day they received the letter. So when you send it certified, you get notifications that the letter has been received and signed for. Now they got 30 days to verify that debt. If they verify it and you send them the method of verification, the day they receive the second letter, the clock starts to tick. The day they receive the second letter, the clock starts to tick, right? So you want to have proof of when you sent the letters and verification and confirmation that the letters were received and signed for. So you send this stuff certified. Never dispute anything on your credit report via their online methods. Because what has happened with the companies, the big three, they've negotiated with the government and said, hey, we like to get some of this stuff disputed and get it done quicker. Can we create an online dispute mechanism? And of course, the government says yes. However, when you're disputing through their online mechanisms, A, you're allowing them to be able to get to you a lot faster versus snail mail, regular mail. You're trying to exhaust that 30 days because if they don't meet the timeline, they have to remove the stuff. B, they've done something very, very, very beneficial to them and not so beneficial to you because what they've done is when you elect to dispute anything in their online processes, you actually waive some of your rights. You waive some of your rights in the FCRA, and now the ball is bouncing better in their court because you've given up some of your rights. So avoid online disputes. Send every letter certified mail. Make sure you get return receipts. So that's just basically your notification that, hey, they received it on this date. So now you mark your calendar, bang. 30 days from now, if I do not hear from them, and I'm going to go ahead and send the next round of letters, right? And then you make sure that you keep up with this stuff, keep a folder, keep this stuff in your file cabinet, and you keep your records straight in case you have to take it all the way to court, right? Reduce credit utilization is another good way to minimize or to fix your credit. We have some solutions to help you increase your take-home pay on your job, take that extra money, pay down your credit cards. Credit utilization, again, is 30% of the score. And what that simply means is if I got $10,000 in credit limits and I'm using $9,000 of that $10,000, my utilization is at 90%. That's bad. That's high risk for the credit industry. They want to see your utilization down below 30%. So if I got 10,000, I never want to use more than 3,000, right? That keeps me below the 30%, and I'm at good risk. I don't use all the money they give me, but I am using enough to prove that I can pay on time. So our income shifting strategies is something that we can help you with. It comes with this credit education program and show you how to minimize your taxes and your expenses to free up some money so you can start paying down your debts, which will affect your utilization, and as a result your score goes up. And we have some great debt elimination software that comes along with this program as well. So taking care of the negatives on your credit report will only get you so far in the credit repair process. At some point, you're going to need new credit, positive credit, and a good credit mix to boost your score. So we have some solutions and some strategies to get you some good credit history. So you can do things like credit rebuilder loans, credit rebuild or credit cards. They call them secure cards or secure installment loans. That will get you new credit. In fact, it will also adjust your utilization. So if you have, for instance, $10,000, you're using 9,000 of it. Well, if you had the money to go get a secure loan of about $3,000 and you don't use much of it, now all of a sudden you have a $12,000 credit limit and you're only using 9,000 of it. Now, that's still 75%, but it's better than 90%. So your credit score starts to creep up, right? So credit builder loans out there. Authorized users is another thing that we can do. In fact, this is one of the reasons that I'm so trying to get my credit all the way where it needs to be, because as an authorized user, if I have good credit, I can put my children on my credit as authorized users. Now they have good credit. You guys see how you can break the cycle of poverty in your family if you make some tough sacrifices? If I Again, if I have good credit myself, if I have a 750 plus, I can put my sons on my credit as authorized users. Now, they don't get access to any of the credit cards or any of my credit, but they get the credit history and they get the good credit score. So now when they're ready to start using credit, they already have credit history and a decent credit score, right? And then knowing how to have a good credit mix and challenge hard inquiries, all of that is included in this program. So check your disputes. You got to be patient with this process. This could be a 4, 5, 6 month process because, again, there's 30 days in between letters. And sometimes if they deal with you on the 29th day, then that starts the process all over for them again. So be patient and don't give up. Exhaust the process. Add every statement to your file and keep meticulous records. And then sometimes there's some things that will require you to get the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau involved, or you might even have to hire a credit attorney. But it's worth it to get good credit so that you can ultimately maintain that good credit and then start using that good credit to build wealth. So, final summation, rebuild credit while disputing derogatory items. So that means, yes, you're disputing stuff, but you're taking some money and you're getting some secure credit cards. You're getting some secure installment loans. So you're getting good credit while you're trying to dispute and remove some of the bad stuff. It says you may not be able to remove all negatives. So understand that paying current debts on time is important. Doing some of those other steps like pay for deletes and good faith letters and things of that nature could also help in the process. Credit improves over time, it's not immediately. And then you think about getting and maintaining some good credit monitoring and watching what you do. So the Smart Money Kit has 26 step-by-step do-it-yourself credit repair videos, 4 rounds of dispute letters, little known re-established credit sources, our income shifting strategy, our minimizing expense tools, our debt elimination tool, and investment calculators. And you can get all of this for a one-time payment of $9.95, not $995, but $99.95. So, as overwhelming as the credit repair process might seem, it's easier than it looks. It's also well worth whatever effort it takes to get your credit back on track. The sooner you start, the sooner it's done. So, why wait? Now, you guys seen the advertisement say, Cortez, you talking about 99.95, but on your screen it says I can get started for $10. Well, you absolutely can. So $100 buys you the program outright, and you can absolutely do that, and we have no problem with you doing that. However, you can become an affiliate of this program, and as an affiliate, you can get started for $10. Wayne Gates said, yeah, you can get started for $10 and then $35 per month. What's the difference? The difference is, as an affiliate, you get access to the product as long as you're paying your $35 a month, and you can be fixing your credit. But here's the other difference. As an affiliate, you can earn commissions by referring this product to other people. So not only can you fix your credit, you can also make a few dollars. Come on, let's be real. We know that the credit repair industry is just bananas with the amount of people who are understanding the power and the principles of credit. But this is after we've had credit cards in college and messed stuff up, had cars repossessed and all that stuff. So now we're trying to fix credit, and we very well should. Well, here's a program that allows you to do it yourself, $10 to start, $35 per month to maintain your membership, and you can get to doing it yourself and earn commissions along the way. So, in order for you to get started, you simply get back with the person who shared this video with you. Let them know that you're serious about your credit restoration and you want to become an affiliate for $10. Even if you don't really want to refer a bunch of people to the product and make any money, still look at it this way. You can pay $100 one time, or depending on where your credit is, you can pay $10 for the first 30 days, get your first round of letters out. Maybe you get your credit improved to where you want it to be by 90 days, and you only paid $80 because you paid $35 for 2 months and $10 for the first month. So it could be beneficial to do it that way, but that's up to you. I'll leave that up to you. But get back with the person who shared this with you. Do you guys have any questions? It looks like my stream is getting a little choppy, so I'm gonna have to cut the video short, but I promise you a Q&A. If you guys got any questions, go ahead and type those in the chat. If you're watching this on the replay, put your questions below. I do monitor these videos that I put out, so I will respond to your question via live, or you putting your question in the comments for the replay. So if no one invited you and you're just seeing this on